Manchester United 2, Chelsea 2, and I'm bloody furious. I'm absolutely furious. That feels like a loss. It's just ridiculous. Ridiculous. I want to talk about Mourinho and Mourinho's future at Manchester United because I know there'll be a lot of fans saying, "Oh, let's keep Mourinho, let's keep Mourinho." But that is, it's just bloody base. This dog and duck pub football on a Sunday. This is the last 30 seconds of a game. The last 30 seconds to get a result that would change the course of our season. Maybe keep our manager in a job. Maybe boost our whole fan base to start bloody believing again. Why don't we win the first header that David Luiz gets on? But then to not win the second shot and the third shot. I mean, David Luiz hits the post from a header that we should have won that header. Then somebody else has a shot. Then Ross Barkley puts it in. Nobody reacts. This is the last 30 seconds of a game. You should be running through bloody brick walls. And Luke Shaw, Pogba, Lindelof, where are you? What are you doing? Like, Luiz heads it, hits the post. Somebody else has a shot. Then Barkley, unopposed. We've got nobody back. Nothing happening. It's a bloody joke. That would have been a massive result for us. And yet again, schoolboy defending does us in. The first goal from Rudiger, schoolboy defending. David Luiz in the second half, free header from a free kick, schoolboy defending. This isn't things happening on the break. We've got our whole team back for these set pieces. 3 set pieces they scored 2 goals from because we couldn't defend a picnic from a pack of ants. It's a ridiculous situation for United and it feels like a loss. That would have been a brilliant Saturday, an absolutely brilliant Saturday. Brandon Coombs says Jose proving the doubters and the plastics wrong. What? What a stupid comment. We've just drawn a game we should have won. We just played for 45 minutes like an embarrassment and thankfully Chelsea only had 1 goal from it. For the second game in a row, we've played shit for the first half and then in the second half we played like we're one of the best teams in the league. That's not acceptable. That result's like a loss to me. It's not acceptable. It's not acceptable at all. And you can pretend that a draw against Chelsea's great. We could be 10th tonight. We could be 10th in the Premier League after 8 games. We could drop down the table tonight. But you sit at home going, we're going places under Jose. We're going places. Yeah, we're going mid-table because we can't defend. Doesn't matter what you do for 45 minutes attacking. If you're only playing half a game and then you can't defend for 90 minutes, you're not going to win games. You know, we might scrape last-minute winners against Newcastle, but we should have won that game and we didn't win it because we can't bloody defend. It's embarrassing. It's bloody embarrassing to draw that game. And Mourinho can start fighting with people in the tunnel and show a bit of passion. But for me, when the dust settles, I'm going to say the same thing. That's embarrassing to draw that game and to pull us to suck us in like that and not be arsed. Why are the players not defending? You know, Anthony Martial today, absolute. I mean, who is Eden Hazard, by the way? Who is Eden Hazard? Best player in the Premier League, apparently. 3rd best player in the world, apparently. All right, you had Ashley Young on toast for 20 minutes and you got him booked. For 70 minutes, he put you in his pocket. He figured you out. You know, you are not the best player in the Premier League at all. If you are, you would have done something today. You know, it's all right doing it against Mingale and Liverpool's 3rd choice left back, but you didn't do anything against us today. Nice little passes, nice little runs, but you know, Martial absolutely put Hazard in the shade. And this is the thing about Anthony Martial. This is why Anthony Martial should play for Manchester United every week. This is why before Sanchez signed for Manchester United, Anthony Martial was scoring goals every week. And Mourinho has not played him for like nearly 8 months. Starts playing him every week. 3 goals in 2 games. That goal that should have won the game. That finish from Martial was world class. Kepa didn't even move because he couldn't move. It was unstoppable. It wasn't Kepa's fault. It was just a brilliant finish from Martial. We take Martial off, we take Rashford off, we park the bus for the last few minutes, and that's all fine and good. I accept that's absolutely fine to do that. But why are the players not switched on? Mourinho must be punching the wall in that dressing room because the reaction to that equaliser from Barkley, from the United team defensively, was shambolic. We can't defend at the moment, so we're not going to do anything. And you can be sucked in and you can be kidded by the performance of the second half, and I was. But the harsh reality was at the end, we got what we deserved, which was a point, because we didn't see the game out, because we can't bloody defend. And I can't find any excuses for that. Calamity Jones says, was the second goal for Martial lucky? Look, we got what we deserved to get back into that game 2-1. I don't understand why Manchester United can consistently play shit for one half of a game and brilliant for a second half of a game. That's got to reflect on the management. It's got to reflect on the players. How can you do that? How can it be a walk in the park for Chelsea in the first half and then in the second half we've got them on the ropes? I don't understand that. And the same thing happened against Newcastle, and the same thing's been happening for 2 years. I'm just so disappointed. I'm so disappointed. I was like, this is going to be an absolutely fantastic win for us. And a point, realistically, it's no good. Of course a point's better than a loss, but it's no good. Look at the league table. Look at where we are after 8 games. We need to be winning these games. We could be challenging. Chelsea aren't going to win the league. I think on the evidence today, Chelsea are not going to win the league. They're probably going to be 3rd or 4th. Where do we want to be? We want to be in the top 4. That was a game we needed to win today to make some points on them. That's a win for Chelsea today, and that's a loss for us. And I'm so frustrated about it, because if we played for 90 minutes, we would have won that game. Chelsea weren't that good today. They were a bit cold. They were in 3rd gear. They weren't that good. We gave them way too much respect in the first half. The second half, we should have won the game. But if we'd played like that for 90 minutes, we would have been out of sight by the end. We gave them a chance because we only played for half a game. We've got to stop playing for half a game. Why are we only playing for half a game? Why are we not switched on in the last minute of a game? The set pieces, the David Luiz one that he missed. Let's go through it. Rudiger, free header from a set piece. Second half, David Luiz, free header, heads it wide, should have scored from a set piece. The equaliser from a set piece. These are not goals where we're not getting caught on the break. If you get caught on the break, it's annoying, but it happens. We are conceding goals from situations where we're organised, and we're still conceding goals. I just don't understand it. I don't understand what's going on with us. It's so frustrating. It's frustration. I just feel so frustrated with that result. I really am just really annoyed with it. And if you are really pleased with the draw, I'm really happy for you. But I'm really frustrated. I think that shit defending yet again has cost us 3 points we desperately needed. I'm not taking the positives from it. I'm taking Anthony Martial, brilliant. Pogba's superb second half, crap first half. We need to play for 90 minutes. We're not Brighton. We're not Burnley. We're Manchester United. We should be playing for 90 minutes. We should have won that game. It's pure frustration. And I know what's going to happen in the league. When I look at the other results today, we're going to drop down the league as well. And of course, let's take some of your comments then. Let's talk about Mourinho. Because I'm interested to see what some people are saying. Abra says that Woodward is going to hesitate again. Well, Mourinho won't be sacked. He won't be sacked. 6 minutes, says James. Yeah, where did 6 minutes come from? Where did it come from? I blame Jose for that. He didn't need to make those changes. Sometimes the best line of defence is attack, says Red Prepper. I actually felt that the substitutions he makes were fine, but you can't trust those defenders. They absolutely... they let us down. Defensively, we're letting ourselves down. We should have won it. We should have won it. Fools will still say Mourinho out, says Anton. I'm Jose out regardless, but we got to give him till the end. Jose is the best manager, says Abdikaran. Should we make anything of Evra sitting beside Ed Woodward? Evra is going to have a job at Manchester United. That's not a very well kept secret. Obviously, he's not going to take Mourinho's job, but he will have a job at Manchester United. Rojo's injured at the moment. With good defenders, United would be doing a lot better. It's not even about that, because Mourinho only wanted one centre-back. One centre-back would not have solved those goals today. It's an organisational thing. The Ghost says Jose went negative, took off Martial, Mata and Rashford when we was performing well, invited pressure. Bringing on defensive-minded players changes the overall mentality of the team. This was why we allowed Chelsea to score, says Mark 18 Martin. Martial should have had his hat-trick, says Daniel Sharp. And I can't defend Lindelof or Smalling anymore. Not good enough, says Tyrone Williams. We missed Fellaini for set pieces, says Hemraj Bat. Well, that's absolutely spot on. That's a brilliant comment. Please do drop a like on the video. I want to take your comments. I want to get your reactions. Smash the like button. Let's see if we can get over 1,000 likes whilst we're live. Let's do something positive. Let's finish a job. But yeah, we did miss Fellaini. You're right. And the sad thing is that means we'll see more of Fellaini, which means we'll lose a flair midfielder, because he's always going to pick Matic. If you pick Fellaini as well, that means you've only got Pogba and you lose Mata. So that's the sad thing. We did miss Fellaini today, but to get Fellaini back in the team, you've got to take Mata out of the team, which makes us more defensive. The thing is, if Mourinho tries to be offensive like he was today, he can't trust his defence. And that's what happened today. We were offensive in the second half, but we can't defend. So we either do what we did today and we get frustrated, but we score goals, or we don't do what we did today, we play negative and we grind results out. You can't have both because we just can't defend. It's so frustrating. I don't understand why a defensive coach can't get us defending, but this season, all 8 games, we've let in ridiculous amounts of goals for a Mourinho team, but we just can't defend. We should have won that game. I should be sat here now saying, Eden Hazard who? Martial sat him down. What a performance from Martial. Brilliant win for Manchester United. Mourinho's bought himself more time. We go again to Juventus. Instead, we're sat there going on about the same things. Defensively, that's not good enough. Stephen Featley's made a contribution. Jose's shown at the end that he can't handle the pressure. Man United, get rid of your manager. Mourinho, seriously, it's embarrassing. Well, talking about the touchline thing, basically, Chelsea equalise. One of their coaches or staff run past our dugout, not Mourinho, and Mourinho reacts on his way back, and it turns into a bit of a fisticuffs, but no fists, if you know what I mean. I don't blame Mourinho for that. It's a little bit of passion. Maybe he's going to get another ban. I don't know. But you've got to defend better, haven't you? Mata, off our main creative outlet, was baffling. Goes to show that as soon as we look good, Mourinho falls on his safety net defensive long ball, says Matthew McFadden. Look, we invited pressure, I suppose, but you're going to get pressure in a game like that. Of course you're going to get a pressure in a game like that. I just feel massively frustrated. And look, you know what? I always say this about life. You've got hopers and realists. And if you're a hoper and you see something today that makes you think you want to back the manager and back the team, I love it. That's absolutely fantastic. There's your pat on the back. Great, well done. If you're a realist like me, and that's how I feel pissed off that we've not won the game. I feel so frustrated to just be taking a point when we needed all 3. But we're the architects of our own downfall. We can't defend. Our first goal was a little bit lucky because there was a Chelsea player injured on the floor. Chelsea's goals, there's nothing lucky about them. It's just bad defending. And when you contribute to your own downfall, you can't say we're unlucky. We're not unlucky to draw that game. We contributed. We didn't defend on their goals, and they scored 2 goals because we can't defend. And I'm really gutted. I'm really gutted. And Lukaku's a joke, says Gazel. Says, look, for the first time ever, I'm going to say Lukaku looks like he's carrying a lot of weight. Jose in, Lukaku out. Timberlands aren't scoring, says Brandon Coombs. I thought Lukaku was poor today. Mourinho was not at fault today, says Kieran. Who sets up the defensive side of things, Kieran? Who's the defensive coach? These are set pieces. These are things you work on in training. Where's the leadership? Where's the organisation? Why are people not marking their men? This is things that should be drilled into them on the training ground. It's not hard for me to say that. Look, am I Mourinho in or am I Mourinho out? I'm Mourinho out. There's my honest answer. Because I said this, even if we won today, I wouldn't change my mind. I wasn't going to change my mind because you can't change your mind on one result. And I was Mourinho in for 2 years. And then after the start to this season, I was like, I'm fed up with this. He needs to go. So I wouldn't have been a flip-flop. And if we'd won it, I wouldn't have said Mourinho in. I wasn't going to do that. What I was going to say is, he's bought himself more time. Let's see if he can build on these results, keep winning games, and try and get us to play for 90 minutes. But I'm still Mourinho out because that is a shambolic performance defensively that shouldn't be happening. We're conceding too many goals this season from shit defending. And that falls on the tactics, that falls on the manager. So I still think that Mourinho will go eventually. I think the draw obviously buys him more time. I think he will be here till the next international break now, because you would expect us to get something about Everton, maybe at Bournemouth, and then City. Well, let's wait and see. If he'd lost today, would he have been sacked? I'm not 100% sure he would have been sacked if he'd been lost, but I am still Mourinho out, and I would have been if we'd won, because you can't flip-flop after one result. And even if we'd won today, as much as I would have been excited, I think when I'd calmed down a bit, I would have said, why the hell are we still only playing for half a game? I mean, that's shambolic. The players have got to look at themselves as well there. The first half from United was an embarrassment. It was an embarrassment. Chelsea go 1-0 up and we're still sitting back, giving them the ball, letting them probe for goal too. We come out in the second half and we're brilliant. Absolutely ran that game in the second half. Deserved to be 2-1 up. Deserved to win the game in the second half. And then we revert to going defensive again, invite the pressure and don't concentrate. So it's a halfway house, isn't it? We were so close to getting a result that could have been inspiring for our season. Actually, we take a point, we take an L, we take a D, and we're massively disappointed. Or you're positive. It's such a hard one, but we shouldn't have been in that situation, should we? We shouldn't have put ourselves in that situation, and it isn't unlucky at the end of the day. The further I get away from the final whistle, all right, maybe there shouldn't have been 6 minutes added on. But you've got to defend. You've got to be able to defend, and we didn't defend, and that hurt. That hurt. It hurts. It hurts. I mean, Eka says you're being too negative, always complain. Maybe watch the game, mate. Maybe watch the game and, maybe construct a proper sentence as to why you're so positive. All I saw was a game of football where we gifted 2 goals with bad defending. And you know what, actually, if you look at the chances we had, we scored our 2 chances. Martial scored our 2 chances. Chelsea, Morata, straight after the half-time whistle, start of the second half, should have scored. David Luiz, free header. They could have had 3 or 4, where I don't think we were ever going to get more than 2. We were more than worthy of a draw. And we should have, I'm tempted to say we should have won the game. But defensively, a joke. Calamity Jones, what did you think about 6 minutes added on? Doesn't really matter for me, to be honest. At the end, we didn't pressure the ball for the cross. We sat back. I think you've hit the nail on the head, Calamity Jones. There was too many minutes added on. Way too many minutes added on, I think. Having said that, there was a few stoppages and full substitutions we used. I think 5 minutes was about right. But the reality is, if you don't defend a cross... I mean, the goal was crap. The equaliser was crap. We don't win the first header. Then there's 2 phases of play where there's no players around. It's poor. Zeki Haradji says, I think the United players wanted it more than the Chelsea players, especially during the second half. Sadly, they just defended poorly at the very end. I think we defended poorly from set pieces throughout. I mean, going forward from here... It would have been a great one-off victory, but that defence is going to have problems. It's going to have problems. It's not a very good back four. Smalling and Lindelof is probably a mid-table centre-back partnership. Ashley Young at right-back. I mean, realistically, if Eden Hazard was any good, he would have obliterated him. Had him on a yellow card in the first 20 minutes. So I worry about that defence long-term, but... I think we're in for a difficult season. I think we're in for a difficult season. I think Jose will be here for a while yet. And hopefully he can build on that. But it should have been a victory to build on. And it's a bit of a halfway house. Roy Keane, simply the best, says a draw is a good result, but we deserve the 3 points. You see, a draw at Chelsea is a good result. But the frustration thing is, if we could defend, we would have won that game. So that's the thing that's bothering me. Jose only cares about his time at Chelsea, says Stephen Featley. Yeah, if anybody didn't see that, Jose Mourinho at the end was going like that at the fans. About what he'd done at Chelsea. I mean, he meant to be about Manchester United. Jose in, Lukaku out. We've read that. United robbed. Shouldn't have been 6 minutes added on, says Roy Keane, simply the best. Matarov, yeah, we read that. Thoughts about the midfield 3 today, Mark, says Ryan FTW. I think at home it might be a good midfield 3. We did park the bus for most of the first half and didn't really attack, but I think at home it might be a good midfield 3. Although I think Fellaini will always come back in because we missed him from set pieces. Ryan FTW says, not sure about the hate for Mourinho. He played a team we all asked for and made great subs. We were unlucky in the end. Nothing he could have done about that. Disagree. He's the manager. Tactically, we couldn't defend a pack of ants from a picnic for the second time. We're a joke. Defensively, we're an absolute joke. And that's what's cost us today. We should have won the game. And as Manchester United fans, we should be disappointed and frustrated. We should have won that game. I mean, Chelsea fans will be pointing to that goal. I'm watching it back now. And Lukaku does foul Alonso. It should be a foul to Chelsea. It continues on. And Martial would have been marked by Alonso, but at the end of the day, he isn't because he's on the floor injured. It's a lucky goal to equalise. The second goal from Martial is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And we should win the game. We should win the game, but we didn't win the game. And that's where we are. And I am disappointed. I'm really disappointed. It's not a loss. But the goal from Anthony Martial was absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Smash the like button, everyone. I want to take a lot of your comments. If you enjoy the match reactions, do drop a like on the video. Let's see if we can get over 1,000 likes. Jay Nick says Lindelof is so bad, it's ridiculous. Paul Lucas says I thought we played well for half a game again. It's not acceptable to play. You can't play. The thing is, as well, if I'm totally blunt on this, and you can moan and say I'm being negative, but it's actually factually correct. In the Premier League, if you only play for 45 minutes, you can't argue when you don't win a game of football. You can say you're unlucky, but if you play the game for 90 minutes, we would have won that game. We're playing half a game. Like, look at Newcastle. We absolutely smashed them in the second half, but because we were 2-0 down from the first half, it's a late winner to win it 3-2. Look at that game against Chelsea. We're 1-0 down at half-time because we don't play in the first half. In the second half, we're winning 2-1, but they get a late goal. If we played for 90 minutes, we would have won that game today. If we played for 90 minutes against Newcastle, we would have won by about 5 or 6. You can't play for half a game in the Premier League and then moan that you don't win a game, because it's going to come back and bite you like it did. Richard Steiner says we lost that match, time wasting, always more likely to concede the longer you have to panic defend in injury time against a big team in a big match. Should Jose had brought on Bay instead of Sanchez? I'm surprised he didn't, actually. Avishek says draw at Stamford Bridge, great, 10th after 9 games with this being our first big away game. I hope Mourinho does a turnaround, but defending is shocking. He needs to sort us out defensively. It's a massive joke. I want to just see the equaliser back, because hopefully they're going to play it while we're still live. Absolute crap. I feel sick in the gut at that. Absolutely devastating, says Ryan Johnson. Mourinho is living by the scraps and also by the ropes, says Sambit. And I'm hurting right now, says Manroop. I think it's irrelevant to talk about who the next manager is going to be, because Mourinho will be here for a while now. That result will keep him in the job for a good few weeks. You can live off a draw against Chelsea for a while, and he will do that. And that's fine. That's fine. I don't expect him to be sacked any time soon, and we should have won that game. But what I do expect is United have got to start playing for 90 minutes, and we've got to start defending. And I actually would have thought Jose Mourinho, when you look at his history, you would expect a Jose Mourinho team to be focused for 90 minutes, but we never play for 90 minutes. You would expect a Jose Mourinho team to be able to defend, but we can't defend. And it's as baffling as it is frustrating. But I thought Anthony Martial was brilliant. I thought it was absolutely superb. He was the positive for me. Smash the like button if Anthony Martial was your man of the match, because I thought he was absolutely brilliant. You take Martial out of that game, I think we would have lost it. The second goal was sort of out of nothing, really. The finish was world class. He put Eden Hazard in the shame and in the shade. He was the standout player on the pitch. But let's have a look at this goal as it comes in. So no one's marking David Luiz on the back post for a start. Header down. It's you know what? Don't watch that goal again. Do not watch that goal again. The header comes down and there's 2 Chelsea players unmarked. I mean, that defending is... When you watch the equaliser again and watch the players that were unmarked, Rudiger, Pedro, Barkley, it's like we were playing with 3 men. This is a team that... Don't tell me that that's a team that's switched on and trying to win a game of football. It's shambolic defending. It's absolutely shit. It's crap. It's absolutely... Don't watch that equaliser again. That's the last 30 seconds of a game you're clinging on to win. And nobody's marking anyone. Absolute. Don't watch it. Really don't watch it. It was absolutely unbelievable. I'm so disgusted with that. Defensively, we're a mess. Absolutely disgusted by that. Yeah, Arsenal Fan TV tomorrow. Let's see if we can get the result. But United, defensively, that's a joke. Absolute joke. If we play to our potential, we are absolutely good enough to be right up there. Mata deserves a shout out. Free roll suits him. Suarez, yeah, Mata in the second half was brilliant, mate. He really was. But you can't watch that back defensively and say anything other than that is disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. If you don't laugh, you'll cry. Ben Silver says, this only proves Mourinho's right. He wanted to purchase Alderweireld in order to strengthen the back four and the board didn't even try. I disagree with you, Ben. Thanks for the contribution. I think Alderweireld or a centre-back would improve us. But as I said before, a centre-back can't mark 3 players. There's 3 players unmarked there with 30 seconds to go from a header down from Luis. Mark your men. Mark your men. You're defending a brilliant win. Mark your men. 30 seconds more is all we want. Switch on and mark your men. Alderweireld can't do that. He needs a whole back 4, not 1. And let's not forget, he bought Bay, he bought Lindelof. He's had 5 transfer windows to get rid of Smalling, get rid of Young. He's kept these players. He's bought these players. One centre-back wouldn't have solved that today. It wouldn't. It's a whole team defence. It's not good enough. Thanks everyone for watching. Speak to you all soon. Fan cams are incoming. And get your comments in below. Division results, I suppose.